what's this life about? You know, like I'm gonna go out here and chase money all my life. That's good, and you need some, but like my kids are getting older. Take advantage of this. So we sold everything. We moved into a trailer. It gave me a chance to coin something you said off one of your other podcasts, to re-engineer my life.
Yeah, right.
It was freedom. A lot of my debt had gone away because I didn't have the house. I didn't have all these things.
So I'm doing this home inspection with these people, and when I was under the deck, I found a snake skin that was like that big. Like for a garter snake, which those of you who don't know, that's a big garter snake, and it was thick. You know, I was like, oh, that's a big boy. You know, and like, so anyway, so then I showed the people. I'm like, oh yeah, check this out. And like, yeah, they don't like snakes. Yeah. And I forget that as I come up with it in my hands, that people, as they, you know, freak out and react. Oh, and just like that, kicks off another episode of the ADHD Express. The audio spike signifies that we have actually started. Okay. It also makes our nervous guests not nervous anymore.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, nobody is. It's awesome. And eventually it'll start, well, yeah, eventually people are going to start catching on and they're going to know it's coming. And then once that happens is when we're going to come out with a really cool video of just that couple of seconds where Joe screams and everybody goes, oh, like that.
A clip of all of them.
Just all of them like freaking out as that happens.
Or we'll all start doing it together.
Or we start doing it together, yeah.
Like he should be like,
that would be great.
That will eventually get there. Well, hey, you guys, I'm Brian Carlson, your host. Thank you for joining us for another episode of the ADHD Express. Right now is the perfect time. If you haven't already, please click down and subscribe to this channel so that you guys can get the updates. Actually, when you're subscribed, make sure you click to get updates so you'll get a ding every time I release a new episode or we go live like we are right now. You can find us across all the social media platforms as well as the ADHDexpress.com where you can check out some of our official merch. As always, today I've got the Osmond brothers.
Ayo.
DJ, you got your hair cut.
I did.
Everybody look. He got less hair, just like I all of a sudden lost my beard. He looks like so much younger. That's what everybody tells me. They're like, man, you just lost like 15 years. Yeah. It's fabulous. Cool. Well, then today we have a great guest. We've got my friend Ben Calderwood. For those of you guys who already are following the show, you'll notice we put some posts out to kind of advertise and let you know what Ben's here to join us about, kind of some of his experiences. And yeah, well, you know, part of the show, man, is we want to get this, these authentic stories of people who went to college or didn't go to college. It doesn't have to be college. I don't care. You went and started a career, a profession, and then we're just like, dude, this is not for me.
Yeah.
You know, because that happens a lot. And a lot of folks don't ever have the courage to leave. A lot of folks are just kind of stuck there. We get analysis paralysis. There's a lot of things that happen. And so I think Ben and I hit it off so well. Well, actually, the reason we hit it off so well is when you have two men that spend hours inside of a shower together, you just kind of bond.
Did you see his face when you said that? Because you were just talking about earlier about the scream, and you just did that, and he just did it back to us like, what are you talking about?
You spend enough hours in close contact with a man.
Right?
Well, okay, so...
You just creeped out a lot of people.
I did. So, and that was intentional. It's funny. But so he helped me build my shower, you guys. So I have that awesome shower with a steam shower. It's you guys, my shower is like 11 feet long, 9 feet tall. It has glass floor to ceiling, and I've got a commercial steamer, and you could steam it so much you can't even see another person in there. And so when we were doing that shower, it was just kind of, the joke was two men hanging out in the shower all day long.
I love that.
Well, we were clothed.
Brian got a hold of me because he was having some hip problem stuff, so I came and did some of his floors.
Yep.
And he started putting up the vapor barrier in the shower. And here he is, you know, like it's tall.
Yeah.
And he's trying to do all this. I'm like, dude, let me just help you.
Yeah, so I blew a hip out. For those of you who don't know, I tore the right labrum out of my hip and crushed a vertebrae in my back. It's a combination martial arts injury / construction injury, all within like a week. So that left me really incapacitated in the spring of 2020 and into 2021. And so Ben absolutely stepped in to help out. And I appreciate that.
Oh, it's definitely. I just came to help him out, you know. And he was just like trying. I'm like, he's in pain and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, let me get in there, and I'm a big fella. I can help you out a little bit. Yeah. So we sat there for 2 hours, and Brian told me his life story about a lot of the stuff you've talked about. You know, getting
dealing and busted and SWAT. Yeah, you can just say it.
He's like, yeah, I went to jail. I'm like, whoa, who am I with here?
Change the shower situation.
It does. It changes it a whole lot.
But then he just went on to tell me, and it was just very interesting. But that wasn't the first time I met Brian. First time I met Brian is he came to inspect my home when I sold it. So, like, a little bit about that was so. You know, you were talking about, like, you know, the courage to leave, that indecision. Because I listened to some of your podcast stuff like that. For me, you got to have inspiration and you got to have a catalyst that springs you forward, right?
Yeah.
Like I'd seen a lot of my buddies go out. One of them went out and he took his family, went and traveled around the country for
that's
like a
amazing.
year.
Yeah.
He just quit his job, got a teeny little bumper pull trailer.
Yep.
And then they went and hiked and did all this stuff. I'm like, oh, that was so cool, you know?
Yep.
So I had that inspiration, and then the catalyst for me was in my 20s. I lost my good buddy to suicide.
That's
It
awful.
kind of took me down the bad road.
Right.
And then right before you came into the picture, I lost my brother to cancer.
Yep. That's right. I remember.
And when that happened, you kind of look at yourself a little bit different in the mirror, and you're like, you know, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah.
Like, I went down the traditional, like I went to college. I played football for him. I got a scholarship and they paid for my school, and I got into a corporate world, which was good. You know, you're just kind of just going along with the flow. And then those things happen. I'm kind of just looking back. Like he was 37 years old. He's got.
This is your brother?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah. He had pancreatic cancer. It took him 6 months. Watched him wither away just like that.
Right.
You know.
And he's probably a big, healthy dude like you, right?
No, he's a little fella. He was wiry. He was kind of a punk. I
Interesting.
tell people all the time, like, they're like, what happened to him? Like, he didn't eat his vegetables. Yeah. He was so picky as a kid.
That's funny.
Like my mom would cook food and stuff like that, and he'd be like, carrot in it. And he wouldn't even eat anything. Like, so I was scared my kids. They're like, why did Dan die? Well, he got cancer because he didn't eat vegetables. Yeah. And if you knew my brother, like, most people are kind of like, you're kind of weird about this death thing, you know, but he would joke about anything. He'd be laughing about this kind of stuff right now. So
he'd be offended if you didn't take the opportunity.
he would be offended if you didn't do
I
it.
understand.
Like,
Yeah, I'm kind of that way
perfect
too.
example
Right.
was I ran into someone that knew him like 3 months ago. They're like, how's your brother? I'm like, he's dead. Like, just like that.
Yeah.
Quick, you know? And that face, like, he just gave us over there. He was like, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, you would appreciate that.
Yeah.
My wife's like, dude, you got to stop. Like, people think you're
Why? It's
demented
an
and
honor for
twist.
him. It really
But
is.
It really is to honor my brother. Like, he pushed the boundary. He pushed me in a lot of ways. Like, I was timid as a kid, and he would always push me and push me. You know, let's just go do this. Go do this. You can do backflips. You know, he was always pushing
guy.
people
Sure.
that way. So
That's awesome.
anyway, so finally, when he died, I was like, I'm done. I quit my job. We sold the house, everything in it, and we're going to move into a fifth wheel with 4 kids and a wife and go do that. Brian comes over, and you know what, and so I told him about this, and he's like, you know where you should go? There's a place out there where there's like 6 million rattlesnakes. You should go hang out there. And I'm like, who are you, dude?
Massacre Rock, Idaho.
Yeah. You know, you should go check out this place with like, and I don't think he knew that, like, I don't love snakes. Like, I'm not like terrified of them, but like, it's not my cup of tea. And he's like, you should go hang out with rattlesnakes. It would be fun.
So even funny story about that. So like when we first started going to the church that we were involved with, and like, you know, everybody's like, oh, we're all adventurous and stuff, and so we're gonna do this family camping. We go on a couple of family camping trips with other people from the church, right? And then it's like kind of our turn to plan one, and I'm like, I got the perfect place, right? So where do I take everybody? Massacre Rock, Idaho, where they have like an infestation problem with rattlesnakes. Like literally, you pull into the campsite to go check in, and the camp directors be like, hey, we got 2 rules here. If you see a rattlesnake, you either have to kill it or you got to come and get us so we can kill it.
Man, this is where he told me to go. The family, like,
So
you know what would be fun?
I take all these church people, these families, and we're all, and it's on the Snake River, and so and we all have kayaks and stuff. So there's this island with this shack on this island, right? And so I'm like, all right, guys, we're gonna kayak out to this island and check this thing out. And there's parts of the Snake. It's a big river. For those of you who don't understand, that's a big river, and especially right there it is. So. Anyway, so we get out to this island, right? And it's me and all these little kids. And then one of the moms is like, you know, I'm going to go along just in case. Probably still does. I know she doesn't have a high opinion of me to this day still. So anyway, so there we are with all these kids.
Probably not because of you.
No, it's
just
true.
because of
the situation.
thousands of snakes.
Right.
that
Yeah.
people-
Well, hang on.
and not like a blow snake or like a garden snake, a rattlesnake.
Full on Diamondbacks, yeah. Well, and actually, so you have to hear the rest of the story, and you're gonna probably be like, "Okay, it's you." So we go up to the shack thing, and the kids go run. I'm like, "Wait, everybody!" I'm like, "We gotta police for rattlesnakes first." And as we get around there, sure enough, there's a rattlesnake, right? And it starts going underneath this building, and I'm like, "All right, kids, you're gonna love this, but don't ever do this." So I catch it by the tail as it's going underneath this building. I shove my arm underneath, I get it, and I drag it back out. And it's a snake, and it's a little upset, but I got it by its rattler, so all I could do is hiss and like try to bite you. And I pull my knife out and I go, "Klunk," lop its head right off with one throw. Like, it was one of those things. It was like out of a movie, but it was really it happened, you know. And I'm like, hey, anybody want to hold the dead snake? And so then all the kids were like, yeah. So I let everybody play with the snake and shake the rattle, and I dig a hole and you bury the head. Because for those of you who don't know, a rattlesnake is cold blooded. It'll still keep biting even when the head's detached. Mm-hmm. So you dig a hole, you bury the hole, you put a big rock right on top of where the head is buried, so it can't work its way out. So anyways, then you know you're safe. But so then all these kids, so they decide they're going to bring it back to the campground with us. Oh yeah, dude, it didn't really go over that well.
It was not a hit.
As you can imagine. Yeah, the kids, right, think I'm awesome.
You just killed the snake, cut off its head.
It was, but the mom was less than thrilled about the entire expedition, and I think that kind of interrupted the whole like many families going camping together, which. You know, I can't help it if they're squeamish. Like, anyways.
Our dad told us this one story. So he was fighting a firefight. He was firefighting down in New Mexico or Arizona. And he goes into this middle of nowhere bar. And he sees that they have a snake that's wrapped around the entire top portion of the thing. And he walks up to the bartender and he's like, how many snakes did it take in order to make that? And she looked at him like, what do you mean? That's just one snake. He was like, no way. She's like, go look at it. He walked up to it, and it was a rattlesnake, and the scales on it each were the size of a dollar bill coin.
Wow.
All the way across. Found out later that this place just so happened to have the world rattlesnake wrestling competition.
They crawled into dens with these gigantic rattlesnakes and pulled them out of there
to see who gets the biggest one every year. The rattlesnake fishing.
You know, and
I think that's your cup of tea.
I thought noodling was a little bit crazy, but like, and to be honest, like I would rather go in the rattlesnake den than noodling.
Not me.
No.
Snake as big as you. Oh, no.
I'd rather take the fish by the gill and get out of the water.
Yeah, but you might find a snapping turtle.
That would be
what
unfortunate.
about a snake? Big old one. Just,
but I can see him. I can see him now. He's coming. I can catch him.
We can put in a chokehold.
I might.
Sleeper.
The heads on these things were like this.
Yeah.
Well,
that's awesome. I want to go there. I wonder if it's still there.
Wrestling match.
It's in Arizona.
What episode? So Neil Osmond, the boys' dad, was on episode like 29 or 30. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so that should be a couple months out. We'll be able to get that one out for you guys, and you can hear about Neil's adventures.
Yeah, he got some
snakes are fun, right? Like my buddies in high school knew that I didn't love them. He'd always put his little ball python on the back of my neck.
Sure, naturally
to help me out.
Yeah, trying to overcome your fears.
So I got a little bit better, and then in college we went to this one people's home, and this girl had one of those big snakes that she draped on herself.
Yeah, Burmese python probably.
You know, and I was like, that's kind of cool. And I'm like, face your fears, you know.
Yeah.
So I go up there. And they all petted it just nicely, you know. And I'm like, okay, I got this. So I start walking up, and the thing just S back up in. I'm like,
never
dang
mind.
it.
Yeah.
You know, it could sense something, you know, but
yeah.
Tried to face that fear, you know. All right, you got to face them.
You know, years ago,
face the fears.
when my wife and I were first married, I used to hang out at a reptile rescue place, and they had a bunch of 12, 14-foot Burmese pythons, and I used to go hold them all the time and hang out with them. I always thought they were really cool.
Yeah.
Like,
but like, I try not to pass it on to my kids, so my kids like snakes and all this stuff, and they hold them and stuff. I'm like, hey, Dad, you want them? Good, whatever.
You guys go ahead. Let me get a picture of you.
Yeah, yeah, you go ahead. You know,
that's funny.
Oh, really cool fact. Do you know that it's built into our DNA to be afraid of snakes?
No.
Yeah. In fact, some of our oldest stories about it, way back in the day, our main predators, we had 3 major predators: large cats, large snakes, and large birds. Right? So what is a dragon? It's a large snake with 4 legs like a cat, and it flies like a bird.
There you go.
The thing that carries the most fear is also the thing that hoards gold, right? The thing that is valued most comes from facing your fears.
I see where you're going with that.
Deep, right?
That is deep. There you go. See, face your fears. Hey, by the way, there's actually a snake in that red box right there for you. No, I'm sorry. That was good timing, though, right?
Is it really? No. Oh, it'd be cool if it was.
I know. Yeah. You know. Well, it's funny. I was doing a home inspection the other day, and again, to me, some of this stuff, like I forget, and that's where, we read my personality and like, I'm really nice and courteous, but I can also be abrasive. I don't mean to be. That's the ADHD that just like spits stuff out. So I'm doing this home inspection with these people. And when I was under the deck, I found a snake skin that was like that big. Like for a garter snake, which those of you who don't know, that's a big garter snake, and it was thick. I was like, oh, that's a big boy. And like, so anyway, so then I showed the people. I'm like, oh yeah, check this out. And like, yeah, they don't like snakes. Yeah. And I forget that as I come up with it in my hands, that people are as they freak out and react. Then you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even think that would bother you.
Should just left it under the house.
Yeah, I shouldn't have said any. Well, and I've actually had deals fall apart from that, and then the realtor be upset with me because I'm like, oh yeah, I hope you guys like snakes. There's garter snakes everywhere. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, here, watch this. And you go dig around the bushes and come up with like 2 of them. And then I've had people like literally bail on houses because of that. And I'm like, and again, one of those is like, well, and the realtor gets mad at me, but I'm like, okay, but this is a person who's going to buy this home next to a swampland. There is always going to be snakes here. So like if that person is that afraid, I really did them a favor.
Yeah.
Right now, they're not going to have a house in a snake infested area.
Yeah, especially if it's like their worst fear too.
Right.
Constantly walking.
Yep.
Then they're just gonna.
Because there were snakes in the crawl space, snakes in the flower beds, and everywhere you were walking, there's just snakes. And like I said, for me, it doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I had one house. Ooh. Story time. That would be a great time for a sound. You guys, so our editors have asked us to come up with sounds. So as we go with story time, we have to have some sort of we should do a poll. We should start doing polls and have people engage and tell us what it sounds.
Your eyes look like a light bulb went off, so it's got to be like that. It was going to be like,
yeah. So
or the click, the old click.
So click. For those of you guys who know, if you know a home inspector as a personal friend, or in fact, actually, there's a bunch of home inspectors out there. We ought to like collect them and start doing your top 10. Like, so I've done thousands upon thousands of home inspections, right? Most houses don't even come into the top like 1,000 or 100 maybe, right? Of bad, gross, disgusting stuff. But this house is in the top 10, and it's been in the top 10 since I did it. It's never been bumped off the list. And this house was over in Tremont area. It was kind of an ugly situation. There was some domestic stuff, and so it was some outside parties that brought me in as the third party to evaluate the condition of the home, so it's already kind of an emotionally charged, kind of a hard situation. This is the worst house I've ever been in. Hoarding to the wazoo. I mean, mice, snakes, spiders, bugs, cockroaches, like you name it. It's like at first I'm on the outside of the house. And there's just snakes everywhere, which is not that big of a deal to me, right? Until I start getting close to the house and I'm literally watching like probably 10 snakes weave their way in between the bricks as they crawl their way up and go into a hole in the attic. And that was like, well, that's disturbing because I have to go in that attic. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is not cool. And as I just keep going, it's like more and more and more snakes. I go to open the electrical panel on the outside of the house. And as I open it up, and there's the metal safety cover on the inside, and I take out the screw and I pull the safety cover off, there's probably 10 snakes in the electrical panel. A couple of them are fried because they connected the terminals and they burn them out in the electrical panel, but the rest are going into the main cluster of wires that are going into the inside electrical panel. So now I'm clued in to kind of how bad the situation is. So then I get in the house and I go to open the electrical panel and snakes it's like an Indiana Jones movie with snakes coming out of the panel at me, dude. I'm not even joking you. No. Like, it was like one of the, I'm dropping stuff. I'm like, this is getting a little excessive, And then I'm in the house and I have to like open or close a door. So I have to like kick a pile of crap out of the way. And it's either a den of mice and mice scatter, or it's a den of snakes and snakes scatter. This whole house, dude. I ended up so sick. I had mold in my lungs. Like, I had to get all kinds of treatment to cure. By the time I got home, I was coughing up blood from being in that house for 3 hours. Like, I have never seen anything like it. And like, there was the whole back wall, there's a brick of it. So 70s and later houses, the brick walls are not structural. It's a brick veneer. And this house is probably 3,000 feet, so 1,500 each level, 1,500 square feet. The whole back wall was brick, and the whole brick veneer was falling off of the house. No, it was just one of those things. Like, it was just about to be this really catastrophic failure. And then as we kept doing stuff, it turns out the reason the house was so bad with snakes is the sewer line had broken like right in the middle of the house and had basically created a giant sinkhole under the home, which had filled in with like one of the world's largest snake balls. So, I mean, it was just like millions and millions and millions of snakes everywhere.
Would you love to buy that home, right?
Yeah, it was tragic, dude. It was such an awful situation. But yeah, like some of the stuff that was the one crawling through stuff. I had snakes like fall on me, like
But as you're talking about that, I had a genius idea for you. You should change your work attire to Indiana Jones clothes.
I should do that.
Because
Actually,
you play with snakes, you're with cobwebs, you're finding treasures. I mean, last time I seen him, like, he was inspecting for my wife, and he was down in the crawl space, and there's this giant tube, and he's back up in there way. I'm like, Brian, what are you doing? Come on down. I'm like,
he's like,
no,
I don't
I'm
even
good. Like,
fit. You couldn't even.
I couldn't even fit.
You couldn't even fit in that hole. I remember that one.
You're lucky. Like,
because
you're lucky. You're a little feller.
Yeah,
I'm a bigger feller.
Yeah.
And there's this giant like sewer pipe like right inside the axis. He had to like go under and out. And he's like, "Come on down in." I'm like, yeah, I don't fit.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen. And he's right, because like just like Indiana Jones when he tears through the thing of spider webs, I do that every day, like so almost every day. The hat,
the whip, show up to your inspection, you're like, oh, I'm Bron. I don't know why I came with an Australian accent, right? I'm Bron Carlson.
Yeah,
here to inspect your house. And then
a snake. That's a snake.
Yeah, that's not a snake.
That's a snake right there.
Well, and if you remember, back then is when I was still carrying the big old knife on my belt.
Yeah.
Too. So I full disclosure, as you guys know, if you've watched the podcast for a long time, I was a convicted felon on drug charges, and I have since had all my records expunged and have my firearm privileges back. So that's why I no longer carry the big knife. I just went with a gun. Yeah, faster and easier. Well, and after the badger in the crawl space, like I was like looking at my knife and looking at the badger and being like, I feel horribly unprepared for this confrontation.
Yeah.
So those are again, that was in Richmond, Utah. There was a badger in a crawl space that I was in, and the badger had something to say about that. And fortunately, I can backpedal really fast because I'm a little guy.
Can you imagine if you showed up for inspection dressed as Indiana Jones? People be like, "This guy's awesome."
Yeah,
like,
this is the guy. Yeah, this is the guy. Yeah,
this is the guy right here.
Well, you know what's funny is I feel that way with the huge beard. Like when I'm all clean shaven and they come in, like people, I don't get like the immediate respect. I get some like skepticism. Oh yeah, this clean shaven young punk, he don't know nothing. But when they come in there and I got a beard down covering half my chest, they're like, this is the guy. Yeah. And I do wear the hat when it's outside. I have a cowboy type hat just to keep the sun off me.
Wear it all the time. I think. Yeah. Awesome. Or at least for like Halloween or for me one time, dress up and be like, well, you'll be Indiana Jones and I got to be your sidekick.
Yeah. Indiana Holmes.
Indiana Holmes.
That is like pure genius.
That's good.
Indiana Holmes.
Rebranding your business.
I would have
Indiana
to rebrand
Holmes.
Carlson Home Inspections to Indiana Holmes.
Indiana Holmes. You show up like that. I'm here to inspect your house. Japan.
I would have to get me a little Filipino kid to drive around my little car. What's Shorty's name? Yeah. You're just gonna have to dress up like him. Oh, this is Shorty.
I'll drive around your car for you.
No, Short Stack. Is that what he called him?
I don't remember. I love
I haven't
those
seen
movies,
Indiana
though.
Jones for a long time.
Going back though, so
I was waiting for us to come back to like
Yeah.
how the show goes. We get sidetracked and then we
Come back. Yeah, that's why it's the ADHD Express.
going back, so he told you about a place with snakes.
Yeah. Well, that was that. What the story was like, my backstory, right?
Yep.
So I was on the verge. We had literally just closed on our house. We were moving into a fifth wheel with our family. So watching my brother die the way he did, and so quick, and leaving kids behind, I was like, what's this life about? Like, I'm gonna go out here and chase money all my life. I mean, that's good, and you need some, but like my kids are getting older, and you hear it over and over and over again, like, don't blink or your kids are going to be over. So I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of this. So we sold everything. We moved into a trailer. It gave me a chance to coin something you said off one of your other podcasts, to re-engineer my life.
Yeah, right.
It was some freedom. A lot of my debt had gone away because I didn't have the house. I didn't have all these things. Yeah, I had a trailer and a few debts, but I was able to take about 2 years of not working and spend every day with my kids. And the intent was to go travel a lot, but when you watch other people's YouTubes and stuff like that, they burn out real quick on those because they spend all their money on diesel getting to across the country, and then they're done in a month, know? And it's like, well, we want to go travel. So we ended up spending some time with my father-in-law on his property, and we did a bunch of trips around here and things like that. So, and I made it, like I said, about 1.5 years, 2 years, and I got to spend every day with my kids when they were at a very impressionable stage, before, my daughter's getting older, she's into boys and friends and stuff, and that's just life, right?
It's just life.
So, and I was able to get that. So, and then when it all kind of started coming back around, I didn't really want to go back and work for somebody else that way. The company I was with had treated me really well, but when a different company came in and bought them, they started taking me all the little perks like we were talking about front, right? They used to give us like Lagoon Day. They used to give us turkeys for Thanksgiving. They had all these cool little perks that weren't a ton of money. Yeah. And when the new business came in, they just started pulling it away. It's like, no, you're just gonna come.
So we're talking about that. Yeah, there's a lot of the businesses that do that kind of thing. Like being able, employee retention is important, and so many people come in and they just start cutting all that little stuff. And it's like it doesesn't have to be just about the money. It's about how you treat them.
Yeah. Atmosphere, right?
Atmosphere, all of it.
We had a really good work environment, a very good work culture. I felt, and then when they started doing that, you could just see it all crumbling. And the things they were taking away. I mean, the company made millions upon millions of dollars every quarter, right? And the stuff they took away. I mean, for a couple hundred employees, we're talking maybe a couple $100,000.
Yeah,
like that's
right.
That's
off of several $100 million.
Yeah, right. And it's just kind of tough to see that. And so between my brother dying, that, and everything else, it was just like, I'm done. I'm out. So we went and traveled. And when it came back, I grew up doing construction with my, are we okay?
Yeah, you just keep going. Yeah, you're good. Yep, you're recording.
Take a breath. So I grew up doing construction with my dad and stuff. And so kind of an easy fit when I came back to be like, hey, let's see where I can take this, and done that for the last five years and created a pretty decent little business, where I do that. I picked up real estate along the way.
Yep.
My wife got into it first. We wanted to, if we did any of our own stuff, she could do it. And then I want to hang out with her more,
right. Yeah.
Most of my decisions weren't based on like go out and make all the money in the world.
Correct. It's based on
me, right? Mm-hmm. Mine's about my time that I can spend with my kids, my success. Like my success isn't how financially set I am. It's how many minutes and hours I can put into my kids.
Right. So. Well, and the cool thing about doing that is that then they're going to want to spend the time with you. Yeah. And like there's so many times like I hate to say it like this, I've got a bunch of friends that don't ever speak to their adult children. They've alienated, they've kind of treated them in such a way that they don't want to be around. And I'm just like, I don't get that. Like,
I don't either.
Like my that's why I try to do stuff with my kids as much as I can. Like, so that way they want to. And like we were talking about, Ben showed up a couple minutes early and we were just talking out front with my wife and whatnot about some of that stuff. And like we were kind of venting a little bit about how grocery costs have skyrocketed during this administration and the current economy. And I don't blame all the administration. Actually, total squirrel chasing a moment here. Something that a lot of people don't realize. So prior to COVID, there was almost no such thing as the whole personal shopper thing, right? You didn't put an order at Walmart and the person goes and gets all your stuff. That did not exist, right? And then they say, oh yeah, you're not paying for that. Yes, you are. We are all paying for that. That is part of why grocery costs have gone up so much. Those people make like $20 an hour. They make good money. Those shoppers, they make good money. And if you ever been in there and watched them, like they all move as slow as humanly possible. It's like watching a bunch of civil service or like, right, the government guys, they're all there's 10 street workers and one dude shoveling. Yeah. It's just like that. And
it's
so like
business,
they're paying really good money and they work really, really slow, very non-motivated, non-hustling. And so that is also part of why your grocery costs are so high. Because those are employees that the grocery stores didn't have prior to COVID. Those are expenses they did not have. So it's not all the government, it's not all the current administration that's causing this. It's a lot of things. And some of it is the conveniences that y'all are wanting to play with.
Right.
So for those of you who are just sitting at home and ordering your groceries online and you go up and somebody loads them into your trunk, you're part of the reason grocery costs are so much higher. You are.
It's almost like you were attacking those people.
All those introverts. You introverts who are afraid to go to the grocery store. Come on,
no,
man.
Introverts. Like I know my wife does at the time. There is some convenience, right? Where when a mom has 4, 5, 6 kids.
Oh, for sure.
That are young.
Oh, absolutely,
right?
dude.
Hey, let's go take these 4 young 5 kids.
So all 4 kids, mommy, I want this. Mommy, I want. I get
That's
it.
Torture.
I get, and
mom,
I am.
Right?
You guys, as
it's
tease,
a perfect situation, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I need a gallon of milk. Get up and go get it. Like, it's kind of fun. Like. I like going to the store because I run into people.
Somebody I know,
My kids hate it sometimes.
So we're both extreme extroverts. So I was just teasing about your introverts. Like I get it, you guys are struggling. Like everybody I feel like I should, because like I have a lot of people in my life that are introverts, and I don't want to hurt their feelings. Like I get it, we are all different. So yes, like my wife, it causes her anxiety going to the grocery store. I'm happy to go with her. Like I'm like, no, let's go. We're gonna run into some people, and I'm gonna like act funny and embarrass you in front of a bunch of people. And like,
because my wife hates that too. The conversation I had with her last night is I need to. And I was talking with her right as I got out of the car. She's like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "Don't swear too much, and don't embarrass you, right?" So I'm like in my head, like, don't tell stories to embarrass my own wife. Because like I'm like you, like to me they're just stories and you learn from them, and I've gotten a lot better. She's like, don't tell any of the story. I'm like, okay.
Well, when my dirty laundry aired all over nationwide news, that was kind of a thing for me. And I was just like, and also that's part of why. So those of you who know I don't watch the news is because when I watched my own news and they were so wrong and they were so far from the actual truth, that's when I was like, oh yeah, media, they are totally here just to sell a story. They don't really care about the truth or accuracy. They just want a sensational story. And that was why I can no longer follow any news network. They are all full of crap. You are watching an agenda, period. And for those people who think differently, like you are part of the problem. You're drinking from that hose, baby.
but that's the thing is like, so when we were in the trailer for the little bit at my father-in-law's, we go in and visit him at times, and he's always got like CNN or something like that going. And the more you listen to it, the more you just like you're sucked into it, and you're like, the world's gonna end, Here comes Tommy.
Tommy Cam, come on in, big fella.
Tommy, come here, buddy. All right, buddy. Oh, you big.
News just stands for notable events and weather sports.
Yeah, right. It does.
But when we were there, like we were so concerned about the economy and this war and that and everything else. And when you shut it off and you go outside and you ride dirt bikes, like I like to do. You stop worrying about it so much. And again, you can't avoid it, right? It happens. But I had a squirrel idea for you here.
Yeah.
I just want to
Is
jump
it the
around.
stuffed squirrel? Because we want one.
Well, you said you didn't want to offend your introvert friend.
Yeah.
And I'm all like, well, let's try.
I'm pretty sure my presence usually offends them. I think I could just show up and they're like, I don't like this guy.
A question, like a debate. Like I like to have these with people. Like, and this is a good different audience, right?
Yes, it is.
Do you think someone can change from an introvert to an extrovert or vice versa?
I think that they can, but I think that it takes more work on their part.
They 100% can, because I was so introverted through school. I
Same
didn't
here.
talk to anyone. I didn't want none of that. I wanted to be away from the groups, and now it's like I'm talking to everyone, shaking hands with everyone I meet. Like,
look at them in the eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
I was really quiet and reserved in high school, and maybe I wanted to be an extrovert, but I wasn't, just because I didn't feel like I knew how to talk to people very well, especially the opposite sex. I was very scared of them. Like, well, what do I say? And then you learn, like, just open your mouth and start talking to them,
Yeah.
So I got a lot of friends that are extroverts, and I keep telling them all the time, like, you can change if you want to. And they're like, no, I can't. I'm born this way or whatever. And I'm all like, no, it's a choice. Like, the more you do it, the more you're around people, the more you get comfortable with it, and then the more you want to. Like, a good buddy of mine, he's extremely introverted, and some of the things we do kind of sets him off. Like, we were down at UTV Takeover in St. George a few years ago. Just tons of people.
Fun. That's way fun. I've been to that.
We love that, right?
Yes.
He was kind of like, what are we doing? And so we went over to this place where they were jumping razors on the backside of in Sand Hollow there. And you couldn't really see because we got there late. And we were sitting by this truck, and I just like talked. I just got talked to him for a minute, I was being social. And they're like, hey, you want to get up in here and watch? I'm like, sure. So we get up in, I'm talking to him. I had my littlest boy with me, and they're like, hey, does he want some snacks or something? I'm like, if you're offering, like,
yeah, sure he does.
And all of a sudden my buddy's like sitting there, he's like, where do you know these guys from? And I'm like, I just met them like 10 minutes ago. And he's all like, get me out of the truck. You don't know these people? And I'm all like, they're just people.
They're just people.
We're just making friends.
Just making friends.
Like, it's fun.
It is
My
fun.
favorite is the people say that we are NPC generators.
Yeah.
Non-playable characters. Just people just start randomly talking, and then just everything just come to, and like you're like, oh yeah, that person so and so. How long have you known him? Oh, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, that's my kids all the time. Dad, how do you know that guy? Oh, I met him.
Just met him. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know.
And they're getting pretty good at it too. So we were at the dunes, and my daughter came back. She's like, yeah, I just ran into a boy talking to him. We're gonna go on a ride. I'm like, cool, but let me meet him.
I know, right? Yeah, right. I know.
So they do pretty good of like being social and stuff like that. And when we were, one of the benefits of like kind of being a trailer and being out in that community, which the people that travel a lot, when you're in some of those like RV parks and stuff like that, they're very social people.
Yeah.
Like it's, there was times where we'd be sitting there and we'd run into people, and the next thing you know, they're coming into the trailer and we're having pancakes and talking. They're telling us their life story. Hey, we're from here. We do that, and everyone's like, oh, you know, these people, they're just really cool people, and you get to know them. You know, it's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun.
Awesome.
Absolutely. That's exactly why we're doing this podcast. Like right now, we're all still starting out, but eventually the goal is we are going to be all over the place doing stuff, meeting people, and having complete strangers on here that we get to know. Like, that's exactly what it's all about.
So is the plan to like move around, like go to the places and do the podcast kind of thing?
Possibly, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. So like as we want to do events and different things like that, we'll probably do the podcast there. But these guys have got a system called Riverside that they can do remote podcasts pretty easily with people. And so we'll probably do some of that. But like there's a guy I did a home inspection for, and we've talked about him before. He sold everything he owned, bought a camper, and they are running their camp hosts at a campground down in Mexico, down in Baja. And he goes, it's all stateside folks coming through. He goes, but you're in Mexico. And he goes, and it's awesome. And he had a good business, you know, and just corporate America type stuff, and just was kind of miserable, you know, is younger than me and looks a lot older than me. And just, you know, which again, I know I got my age on me, but it's fun. You know, he just was not happy
with his job.
Yeah. Yep. And so they bagged everything, and I think they're pretty happy. I mean, I've had a little bit of correspondence with him. I need to schedule him to be on the show here eventually, but
I always think like for me, like I know I talked about inspiration and catalyst, right? What was it that finally like got them to trigger and be like, okay, I've had enough of this. Like,
I think he had a health thing. I think he had a health thing.
Did he?
Yeah, and then he was just like, yeah.
To me, that's what it takes. Like a lot of people, like we were talking earlier, that indecisiveness. Like,
it takes something.
Right before we started this, we were getting into the thing of a quote that I had heard at work. So my job, I know in the description it says I was a financial advisor. My job was a process improvement manager.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
So my job for 10 years was anywhere the business had problems was to go in and say, okay, well, what's going wrong? What does the data say? How do we put together things to like, oh, productivity's down 20%. We got scrap rate up. Okay, cool. What's causing it? And then use the 80-20 rule, which is like, look at the data. There's probably 2 or 3 problems. They're causing 80% of our issues.
Pareto distributions.
Yeah, right. I'm kind of a math nerd that way, right? So if we fix these 3 instead of all of the problems, we'll get an 80% improvement. And we'll go from a 20% scrap rate down to a 8% scrap rate in a week. And we would do these so my job would be we'd get a group of people together. Yeah, he's like, this is the boringest thing I've ever heard. And I bring it home with me too. My wife like, you leave that crap at work, you know. But you know, that's what I did was process improvement. So
cool. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's right. I do remember that, Paul. I did. Everybody who read the description, I'm sorry that I said financial advisor. I was thinking of Jason Nelson for some reason.
Yeah, I was like, people are gonna get it wrong. They're gonna come to me for financial advice. And
they're like, I didn't know you, and you were like, yeah, the best thing you could do is just give me large sums of cash,
get a motorhome,
spend your hard-earned money on dirt bikes and razors. Yeah. go out and live large because that's gonna set you up for retirement really well.
Smiles per mile,
smiles per gallon, smiles per mile. Yeah.
But again, that for me, you know, like we talked about, like that's just me. Like money's good, right?
Yep.
But you can't get the time back, and it's all about just I try and make as many decisions as I can to put that time with my kids. I have a neighbor. He's got a very good like siding business. He builds homes in Bear Lake, and he does pretty well for himself, right? He told me this last year his goal is to go do more than me. He's like, I'm going to go travel and do more than you. And I'm all like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just because it's what I prioritize. It's how I've engineered my life, right?
Oh, yeah.
From my decisions about the cars I drive and the way we spend our money, it's how do we buy passes to Beaver Mountain and Lagoon, and I'm the type
have the time to go.
And I'm the type that like I buy it, and it's like, well, I'm going to make them pay for this, right?
Yeah.
So we'd go to Beaver in the last few times, 30, 40 times, 20 to 30 times a year. We go to Lagoon 10, 20 times. You know, we ride dirt bikes 4, 5, 6, 10 times a year. Go like trips.
Yep.
And it's just, you know, how do you want to engineer your life to do the things you want?
And that's exactly right. If you're not happy about it, that is it. You have to engineer the happiness. And that's part of, again, I've mentioned it on most of my podcasts, is that's why we're starting to do this, right? It's like I realized where my stresses were coming from. I figured them out. And honestly, like I love my house and my property, but my wife and I have some regrets, you guys. We built too big of a house, spent too much on it. And now we're kind of here. You know, and it was like we wanted to have more fun, but you know, it's okay. You get there.
But you have the choice still, though, right?
I still
Yeah.
do. Well, yeah, and actually, you guys, I actually think I have my development under contract.
Hey.
So they're working out finances. We're trying to close in about 3.5 weeks. And so, yeah, that is going to be phenomenal. That's going to free me back up. I'm just stuck with too many because I do a ton of projects. That's when you know that too. Like I've always got 10 things going on that
More
people
than that,
don't
you got
know
like
about.
40.
I know. Yeah, people are like, "Wait, what do you mean you have another project?" Like I didn't even know about that. I'm like, oh, yeah, I know.
That
Sorry.
was one of the small ones.
Yeah. Well, it's I've done really well with the real estate stuff, flipping, rentals, properties, development. I've done really well with that, and it's fine. I'm a little bored. Like, unfortunately, that is a real thing with the ADHD. I'm bored. I've learned what I need to learn about it. I could just go do it, and then I'm like, huh. Well, I don't know anything about having a podcast.
And I like talking to people.
And I like talking to people. Well, so again, some of these podcasts haven't been released yet, but like we even had my therapist on here and my scaling coach.
Yeah.
Right? Like my $500 an hour scaling coach. And we had them on here to talk about how they helped me reach this decision.
Yeah.
You know, because because I talked to you about it. Like this was not an easy thing to decide and to start doing. And, and as we do it, and like we had a guy who has a podcast on just last week and, he's struggling. He's 18 episodes and they're 7 behind on editing. And he's just like, dude, we got another girl coming on next week who's got 20 podcasts and she was about ready to quit because she's just tired and frustrated with it. And we started talking to her and now I think she's pretty excited again. In fact, now she's coming on because for us, this is the highlight of our week.
Yeah.
And so for her, I'm like, well, if your podcast isn't the highlight of what you're doing, then let's fix that.
Yeah.
Re-engineer, right?
Let's re-engineer it. And so I've been talking with her a whole lot. And so she's super excited about it. And she's going to come and, next week and we'll have Mackenzie on and should be good.
Yeah. I finally remembered why we were going down the road of my work and my process.
Oh,
improvement.
process improvement. Let's go back.
Which was the quote we talked about, right?
Yeah.
Don't let perfection get in the way of good, right?
Okay.
We were going down that road.
We were going
Yeah.
down
about
that
how
road.
people will never jump, right?
Right.
She maybe she's frustrated that all these people are frustrated because it's not perfect.
Correct.
And then
Yeah.
they stop and it's like, no. You just got to keep going. Like we make mistakes, like maybe the podcast with Ben Calderwood is going to suck. It's okay, Like
Right.
we'll move forward, we'll learn, we'll adjust.
Yep.
All that stuff,
Yeah.
So many people are indecisive because they're like, well, it's got to be perfect before I launch. And it's like, well, you'll never launch then, right? My 10 years working at a big corporation like that is a lot of things never left the idea list because we tried to do it perfect. If we would have just started and kept going, you eventually work your way up to that. So.
Right.
Yeah. Well, everybody focuses on the cons. Like everybody
yeah, for
focuses
sure.
on the negative side of it, and that's what gets
Absolutely.
that decision paralysis because it's like, oh, this is the list of things that could go wrong, and they don't even make a list of things that could go good from it, that can benefit from it.
It's funny. I actually had a client yesterday who I did a home inspection for, and when I first met them, like maybe 10 years ago, they were going to buy this house that needed to be completely it was a piece of crap, right? But it was dirt. It was like 65, 70 grand. I mean, it was like,
snap.
oh yeah, like he
Like
sold it for like
property
300.
value.
But they weren't going to do it. And I went in and when I did the inspection and I talked to them and I was just like, you guys, like, if you don't do this, I am. Let me just tell you that. And I said, and I tell you, I had this house in Honeyville that was a piece of crap. I think it was previous to meeting you. And I tried getting some of my different friends to do it because I was like, I want them to make money. Hey man, this is an awesome opportunity. And they looked at it and they're just like, again, the cons. You're an idiot, dude. You're going to lose your ass. You can't do that. I made a buttload of money. I paid people to do almost all the work and I pocketed a ton of cash, Now so I said the same thing to this kid. And so they ended up doing it. And you think about a young couple who literally over 3 years flipped a mouse and made like 230 grand. Like think about what that would start you out with. Now that same couple, I don't even think they're 30 years old. They're buying this 4,000 square foot house in Richmond. That's beautiful. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous.
With probably a lot of money down.
Probably with a lot of money
most
down.
People go into it like, well, I can afford it with my bi-weekly or my monthly check that I have from my work, right?
Right.
Oh, I can go get this brand new cool nice house, right? Yep. But the equity gains in it they're good, but they're not
as
great,
great,
right?
Right.
So the house I bought, right?
Oh yeah,
Came
same
look at
thing.
The house I just bought,
Same thing. Dude,
an
that
old
was a
lady.
house it was pretty rough, dude. There was like
Pretty rough.
Have you ever
Brian
seen
came in, even Brian was like, "Man, it stinks."
Yeah, dude, it was well, it's funny. So since then, there's actually a house down on. In fact, it's up the corner from where your folks' house is on Main. You know where the little Mexican restaurant is? What's it called?
Yeah.
Yeti's.
Yeah,
Yetis. So 2 houses down, that trashed house. Like,
Okay.
so a friend of mine has bought that and asked me to go look at it, and I went to do some testing in it, and like I literally pull into the driveway and I get out of my car and I could smell the house. It was that, and I haven't seen one that because like yours was nasty.
Mine was in.
It was in. As soon as you
all
open the
kept
door, you're like you get hit. It's like walking into a fog of like
the old
musty
lady.
urine, poo,
Yeah.
old yuck.
Yeah, the old lady. So this lady, like, I think she lost her husband. She brought cats in as her company. Well, she had like 20 cats in there.
And she just didn't go into the basement anymore and just let the cat.
Not
That
even
was
the base. It was everywhere.
That's true. It was everywhere. The
It was
house.
everywhere. Like you did. I have pictures I can show you. So
So I remember.
Brian came in and looked around. I don't think you looked in the, like under the bed. Like, are we gonna look under the bed? It's just under the bed. It's probably just some junk there. So when we pulled the beds up, there was a mound of cat poop and puke and urine, just like no joke, like 2 inches tall.
Oh, yeah,
under
I
both
believe
beds. So we pulled all the carpet out and everything. Like, and again, we got it for a good deal because, like, that's a lot of work for people to realize. Like,
Oh, dude.
we got to take this thing down to basically the
Framing
studs,
to framing.
some of the subfloor.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna have a week or two of chemical treatment just to to
Neutralize. Yep.
the cat urine, which it took that.
I guarantee it took that. I know it did. I've done it so many times. Yeah.
And then you find that little thing. Well, the pipes are rusted out. Okay, cool. Oh, and they ran it to an old septic tank, so the sewer line is halfway up the wall. Okay, and me being me, I'm all like, I'm just gonna do it right. So I tear up the concrete, all new plumbing. Now it's all. I don't have to have an ejector pump. It goes out the wall. But just with where I'm at, with what it's worth, it's good. And as I finish the basement, I'll have a lot of equity
Yes, you will.
that I can make decisions with. And so I think people get scared off, like you're saying, like, well, I want that. Here's my other soap opera, the entitlement, right?
Yeah.
I deserve this nice new home. I work hard. Do you really? Like,
Yep.
like it's tough to make the tough decision.
I can-
like, let's go buy the junker.
Yep.
And fix it up and have a boatload of equity.
Well, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. So much of this stuff is about the hustle. Like when you look at my house and my properties and some of the cars that I have, like that is not home inspection that pays for that. It's not. It is my side hustles that pay for that. And I had a dude, Clark Rigby. Clark, I don't know if you joined us live. I sent him stuff. If you're here, cool. But I'm going to have Clark on here. He's a realtor. Does a great job, kills it. But like, and him and I were talking, like he's like, real estate is not what paid for the pool. He's like, I flipped 2 houses to pay for the pool. He goes, and then I paid cash. But like that's a lot of stuff. So then he's working his job, and then in the evenings he's running a massive remodel project with
homes,
rugs of poo. Because I know that he's just like us. He goes in there, and it's funny. You see him during his day job, and he's slacks and penny loafers and a button-down shirt, and he looks all professional and dope. And then you run into a Home Depot, and he looks like the rest of us, and you're like, oh yeah, I forget. You're like awesome. You're awesome.
I dress like that all the time on purpose. Like
The gnarly or the penny loafers?
I'm actually cleaned up today, and I'm wearing some slacks and a shirt. But I like to go out. This is just me with like usually my work clothes on. I got like mud on them and stuff. Like when I say mud, like cement. And stuff. Because I like to find people that are real.
Yeah.
Like people that come up and I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I came and got Brian this morning, I'm like, you ready? I picked him up, put him on my
I actually
shoulder.
like it. I don't mind. It's fine. It's fine.
I did that to another friend of mine. I picked him up. He's like, I haven't felt like that since I was 7 years old.
Funny story about this. Years ago, my brother-in-law, my sister's husband, we went out to why can't I think of the name of the band? Neil Peart, the drummer. Is it not Rush? Is it Rush?
I have no idea.
Why can't I totally just had a total brain fart. Everybody who knows Neil Peart, he's the drummer for the band. I think it's Rush. Anyway, so we went out there for a concert thing, and it was really cool. And I met some friends of his, and she is like 6'9", and he's like 7'1". And it was funny, and she actually picked me up and swung me the same way. And I was kind of like, this is cool. They had a Great Dane, and it just looked like a normal-sized dog to them.
I ended up serving an LDS mission in Brazil, and down there, like, everyone hugs.
Okay, yeah.
Like when we showed up places, everyone gave me a hug, and I got used to it. When I came home to the American culture, it was like, go give someone a hug, and they're like, don't get my bubble, and it's like, I want to get your bubble. Like I have no bubble. Like we were in the shower together. Right? I have no bubble.
It just
and
gets
some
to be that
people
way.
have huge bubbles. And
Some
it's
people-
fun to get in their bubble.
So, and I did jujitsu and martial arts. You lose your bubble.
Yeah, you just do.
You lose your bubble.
One of my favorite things to do in high school, I don't know why I just thought of this, but during lunch, I would go to the German room, and in the German room, they would do skits and things, so they had like masks and like wigs and stuff, and I would, during lunchtime, just put on this old grandma mask and then walk around the school while everyone was doing it and just give random hugs to people.
Acting like an old woman.
Like an old woman.
I can see that. I love it. That would make you love to make people smile, Joe, and that's one of your most redeeming qualities.
Yeah.
And so that's fabulous.
And
Love
I
it.
would scurry away, nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I don't know him.
not
I don't know him.
Yeah.
Dye my
You're
hair
not
black.
Well, it just I was so
I
introverted
think we
in
can
high
have a hug
school.
right now. Like just get up and this is
We can do that as we end for the law of the life. People can see us have a little
Right.
hugging moment.
yeah. I'm a big
You
hugger.
know, I could tell you guys that I am so extroverted that I am noisy and move in my sleep. I'm sorry, there is never hardly a moment when I'm not. That's like I don't think anybody's ever accused me of being an introvert. Hey man, we all have to, it takes different people to make the world go round. You know, and like I said, right now I realize we haven't made it that much yet, but by the time we have 100 episodes out,
Be there.
I'll be there. And then people won't be able to make fun of me because I'm an extrovert anymore.
Well, here's the thing. You can turn an introvert into an extrovert temporarily if you just start singing, "Let's get down to business" in the middle of Walmart. You'll just hear somebody on the other side.
To defeat.
It sounds like or Marco Polo or something. Like
Marco Polo.
My favorite one I did with my wife. Wasn't the worst thing in the world, but we were in Smith's on Main, and I found some sweet suspenders, and I found a red shirt. And I popped out from him. It's me, Mario. I was like, "What are you doing?" I'm all like, "This is me shopping, like me looking for stuff shopping that is not." If we're shopping for like stuff that I'm interested in, right?
Yeah, different.
But if you're gonna take me clothes shopping, like you're
I'm
gonna
going to
see me
entertain
dressed
myself.
up as Mario.
I'm going to entertain myself.
Put a trench coat on. I don't know, something weird,
Yep.
you know?
Yep. I
It's just
agree.
the extrovert in me, but like coming back to the hug thing and the clothes, like I purposely wear my work clothes, and I, as a point of pride, like I'm very proud of the tile work that I
Yeah.
do, like the construction that I do. I work really hard to
Right.
put out a
Do
great
beautiful
product
work.
that people are very happy of. But I wear it out too because like I don't want someone to be my friend when I'm at my best, right? When I'm dressed up nice and looking all good. Like, come up and give me a hug when I'm dirty. That's how I know people
Yeah.
are. Those are the type of people I want to hang out with.
Yeah.
So,
You know what's funny? That's actually funny you say that. So I have a bunch of realtors that I really have a good relationship with, and they always try to come up and give me a hug when I'm doing home inspections, and I always feel rude, and I'm like, you can't hug me. I'm covered in feces, dirt, insulation, lead paint, asbestos.
every
Back
time I see
off.
Brian,
Yeah.
So for those of you who try to hug me and I resist, it's not because I don't love you. It's not because I don't love hugs. It's because I have something on me that potentially is hazardous to you.
yeah. I think the last time you were in your shit, you're like, hold on, and you like hurry and peel it off.
Yeah.
All right, get in here.
Yes, I do that. I will absolutely pull a shirt off and hug somebody so that they're not breathing in my whatever.
And that's respectful, right? Like,
Yeah.
if I had things that were like bad for someone, I wouldn't do that.
same
But
thing.
again, it's just a little bit of dirt. You know?
No, yeah, the
Yeah.
dirt's good for you.
We just did a closing last week, and the guy helping us out. I'm like, I was a little bit dirty when I seen him like the week before when we were talking about stuff. He's like, I'm a little bit dirty. He's like, I don't care.
Yep.
Big hug, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what kind of people? Man?
Yep.
People that know who I am and don't care about a little bit of dirt.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm just a little bit dirty like that. So
Yeah.
I mean, you do
Happens.
construction, don't you?
yeah.
You own a
I do a lot of
construction company?
construction. That's probably my main source of income. I do a lot of tile work. I build shops, homes, painting, drywall. A buddy of mine just needed a shop build out, so we built 3 offices, a second floor, stair, whatever, you know. Like
Okay.
I do a lot of it. Primarily, I do a lot of tile just because I've gotten
Really good
Really
at it.
good at
He's
it.
exceptionally good at tile. For those of you who don't.
so.
Yeah.
The other part of it too is like part of my upbringing. My mom was like an artist, so. And I know they make the jokes like on Instagram reels that these tile guys think they're the best artist ever, you know. But there is an art to it. Like
There is.
You guys see my backsplash in my kitchen? He did that. It's absolutely flawless. It's perfect.
Okay.
So we're actually going to do some cooking clash videos.
Yeah.
So we had a guy, John Robinson, who owns an elk farm here in the valley. And so we're going to do some cool videos showing people how to prepare some of these kind of more unique meats and whatnot. And in fact, Thursday, we're going to pin down a couple of dates to do that because we've been talking about it now for a month and we haven't done it yet. So we need to get that dialed in.
But it's kind of just me. Like I can go into a space that's raw and rough like this, and then when they start saying, "Well, what do you want to do with tile?" I'm asking more questions they know what to do with because they're like, "Never thought about that," and then before it's even done, I have it drawn in my mind.
Yeah.
And I can see it, and I'm trying to explain what it's going to, like the one I just did. I'm like, we're going to run the tile like this, this, and this, and it's going to warp through like this, and it's carry up the curve. It's going to go up on the tub and in. And they're like, we trust you.
Yeah.
I should have you be my interior designer, is what she said. She made the joke. It was really sweet of her to do, right? And then she came in, and she's like, it looks just like you said. It looks awesome, you know? And the metal corners are all tight, and everything's coming through, you know? You spend a lot of time perfecting that skill of, like, you know? And I think that's, you know, when people are like, well, what sets you apart? It's like, I can see it before I even do it, you know?
Yep.
Do you think in pictures, or do you think in an audio monologue?
Pictures.
Pictures?
Yeah, pictures. My wife says I have a crazy memory. Like, I can, there's, like, we were talking last night. She's all like, you know, we're talking about stuff and toys. We got too much for the kids, you know. And she's like, you see things differently. I need to see the piece of clothing to remember it. You can just dial back and remember it. Like, all these crazy things. Except for if I ask you to, like, get me a glass of, or a jug of milk on the way home, you'll forget that. But you can remember all this other crazy stuff, you know?
So do you have a little ADHD, do you think? Do you have a little ADHD?
I don't know. I never thought about it.
So didn't struggle with it as much,
Not that I know of, you know? Like, maybe I was never diagnosed or something like that. People I'm just weird, you know?
Well, just forgetting the milk thing is very specifically an ADHD thing, I think. Because that's, you'll ask me something, like, I will just forget. But then, like you said, I can dial back through my photographic memory and, like, pick out details that people are like, how could you possibly remember that? Yeah. But you, like, you know, you forget that your sunglasses are on your hat.
Yeah.
You're looking for them.
You lose your phone in your pocket.
It's your phone right here.
Yeah.
You're like, oh,
where is it? You're like looking around. It's nowhere to be found.
There's that. I know that I'm the type of person that, like, there's people that you can give addresses to that they can, like, well, give me the numbers and I'll get there. I'm the type that's like, go to the McDonald's, take a left. You'll you go through 2 lights, and then you're like, my wife's like, how do you remember, like, this store 4 lights, right? This store left 2 lights, and then up. And I'm like, that's just how my mind can remember it, you know? Like, I know how to get around because I remember all the landmarks. She's like, you're never lost. Like, we were the dunes, the sand dunes, just riding lately, and we're just all over and stuff. And my kids were like, I don't know ways back to camp. I'm like, that way, you know, like, it's just natural thing that I have. So
well, that's actually a good skill, and I think a lot of us here in Utah have developed that using the mountains, because, like, you have to be able to navigate. Like, it's very dangerous here. If you
north and south, right?
Yeah.
You know which way the mountains are on north, typically it's north and south. And
people always, like, one of the major ones that I hear is people like, how can you talk in compass? Like, that one is weird. I didn't know that a lot of people, or not a lot, but there's a portion of the population that you say, oh yeah, just go northeast. And they're like, what's that? Like, what? Like, just give me what I'm supposed to be going to, where I'm supposed to go. So
you're not wrong, actually. So, like, when Destry, my other inspector, I've talked about him a lot. So hopefully you guys that follow the show know who Destry is. And that's something. So in our inspection reporting, right? I'm like, okay, this is the master bedroom. This is on the northwest side of the house. Because people don't know that, and I'm trying to teach them. And that is something he actually struggled with. So it's interesting because he's like, how do you get in a house and just know which way is which? And I was like, I don't know. I just always know.
Yeah,
north is always that way.
You just have this feeling, right? And the north, east, west, south, like.
And it was just funny, you know, and that he kind of struggled. But then,
never eat sour watermelon.
Never eat sour watermelon.
Got a text from my kid. He said he's watching me.
Oh, is he? Are they watching on the live? Hey!
What's up, Dylan?
Tell him to make a comment. We'll respond on the show. He can ask a
comment,
question,
buddy.
Dylan.
He's good. So this last trip, speaking of real quick, we'll just go down that road. It's fun because they did something cool. So there they have a big mountain, sand mountain. It's pretty big, right? And for years, they've always wanted to climb it, him and my older daughter, but they've never had the machines.
Okay, sure.
So my 14-year-old, she's riding my Honda 450 now because she's
huge,
like 5'10",
Yeah.
I don't know how she's sorry, May, but she's tall.
Yeah.
So she can ride around. And then my boy, he's a really good rider, but just never had the right bike. And so my buddy had just bought a KTM 300 for his kid with a lowering kit.
It's a cool bike, yeah.
Yeah, it's got plenty of power and it lowers.
It's a 2-cycle one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sweet bike.
And so we were sitting there day 2 or 3, and he's like, Dylan, go jump on that, you know? And he sat on it, and when he rides with the 450, on which he's done,
he can't touch the ground.
He can, but it's like tippy toe. The bike's heavier, like he's not sure of himself. So the first day, my daughter, she's been psyching herself for a while. She rips right to the top, And then she did it like 20 more times. I'm like, that's cool, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Then day 2, my boy's riding the 450, and he went up most of the way and came down and didn't quite. And I'm like, dude, you're there. Go to the top. You've done the hard part. You've come down the hill. That's usually the hard part. Well, I don't know what's up there. So then once he figured out the other bike was more comfortable, the next day he ripped to the top. And so the last day we're sitting there, and he's like, can I go climb the hill one more time? I'm like, oh, let's see. Let's ask my buddy if he can take it, you know? So he gets over there, and there's almost no one there. There was like an 18-year-old kid that showed up for the day riding, and he's on the phone talking with his friend. And Dylan gets just hits it, just man, fourth gear, just blasts up it. And you got to picture like this he's a teeny kid. He's not built like me. He's a smaller kid on a big bike, just flying to the top. He's talking about, he's like, the coolest thing just happened. This 10-year-old just ripped to the top better than I ever would, you know?
Yeah.
So it was cool. And then he went around and was jumping and wheeling and stuff on this bike after riding it for 2 days. And this kid's trying to keep up, and he's outperforming and stuff. So anyway, plug for the kids.
Yeah, that's awesome,
they did
dude.
Cool stuff. So
yeah, that's way cool, man. I tell you, when you grow up doing that stuff, they just develop those skills.
Start them young, right?
Yep. I got a buddy of mine, Brock Butters. His kids all race, and he's pro and whatnot. And his 11-year-old daughter's out there winning against adult women, just smashing them. And it's like they're all like these calm, sweet little children. Yeah. They're just great kids.
It's normal to them, right? Like when they start with it, like tried to put my kids into dirt bikes and skiing and things very young, so that they're not scared of it. 'Cause they're not scared of it when they're young, right? It's fun.
That's smart.
But you know, I've always taught them. Someone has had the phrase where do dangerous things carefully. Like teach them the rules. Like,
yep.
You know, when in doubt, gas out. You know, if you're, you know, all the cool things you got to tell them. You know, brakes and stuff. But then give them the right equipment. And then once they know that, let's teach them how to do dangerous things carefully. Like I think kids need that more and more these days, right? Like get off the TVs, get off the YouTube. Sorry, YouTube.
I know, right?
Part of it's good, right? There's so many cool things.
Sure there is.
But too much of it, one thing is, you know, you need to get back out there and ride bikes and get dirty and do cool stuff.
Yep, that's right. Everybody does. Everybody does. Dang, you guys, that is an hour-long podcast. Can you believe that? We just talked for an hour.
For a minute.
I know, huh?
did we even accomplish anything? Like,
yes, we accomplished 100% the goal of why we're here. We really did.
We jumped around a lot, and I'm like, I don't even know if we talked about what we were supposed to talk about, even though there was nothing we were supposed to talk about.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we did. We talked about the hardships, the overcoming them. We talked about the growth, the journey. I mean, that's what it's all about, man. Is like trying to let people know, like, dude, everybody has a hard time. Everybody has a story, and you are all interesting. Every single one of you has an interesting story. And so we just want to be on there. And so this is a great time. I appreciate you being on the show with us, Ben. And you guys, if you enjoyed this show, this is a great time. If you haven't already, like and subscribe our channel and find us on social media accounts so you can kind of follow up with everything that we've got going on. And we do film twice a week. I know we're a little bit slow on releasing, but we've got a great company up in Canada, Edmund Munson, who's helping us out get the stuff edited.